Talking about hero picks and bans and popularity, the draft has already begun for game number 1 of this first series. It's Army Geniuses versus Team Adroit.
Yeah, we can see the bans AA, Puck, and Pango. I assume they're being banned by Army Geniuses. Adroit bans the Void Spirit, the Morphling, and the Timbersaw. So, oh, there you go. Madness, first pick. Boomy or Bach, one of them will take it. I'm sorry, Mac or Bach.
Based on historical evidence, which
Enchantress
needs to be taken in a hint of salt, because now that metas have changed, it's usually going on a +4, but we'll see. Are they still running the cheesy, get a Magnus, empowers or carry, flash farm, and just take over the game? Or will they actually be looking to utilize his RP as a means of team fight?
Yeah, it's a very flexible thing. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, is it mid Magnus? And are they gonna start picking other heroes? Winter Wyvern, we talked about being a popular hero. Enchantress is a bit of an odd pick for Army Geniuses. I don't remember them being big pickers of Enchantress. I know it's one of Adroit's favorite heroes to take.
Yes.
So I guess it's something like, we're taking it away from you. You know, it's ours now.
Anything worth noting, Enchantress actually does a lot now that the impetus can be leveled up
Yeah.
at level 1, right? It's a lot of harass damage.
Radiant
Especially now it's pure, and we got the Snapfire.
That makes sense. But I'm also looking at the Enchantress and Wyvern. I'm thinking, well,
Dire
it's
team
very
back.
unlikely both are supports. You know, because
That's true.
it's like, yeah, you have a couple of lane winners, but I imagine that you want something a bit more active than these two heroes for position 4. Enchantress, yeah, you can get creeps, but unless you get a few items, you're really nothing in the late game. You do nothing against BKB. So early game, usually she goes around as when she's a position 5, she gets a few good creeps, goes to the lane, wins there. But you have Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, I was about to get into that. Do you think that Winter Wyvern was just a no-brainer just because they saw a Magnus getting picked up? It just saves him from the RP. If someone gets RP, lay the curse down, they can't commit on you.
That's a fair point. Like, that is a fair point. I just wonder if that's really what Army Genius is thinking. You know, like, what are we? Maybe we're in a whole different bracket. You know, maybe it's gonna be that
Probably
the carry. Winter Wyvern when it first came out with the Mask of Madness, when the ulti can do damage. That was a lot of fun.
Dude, I'm actually hoping that's the case here, because then I'll be seeing something new, something different, something I would not have ever expected of. It is a best of 3. If they want to get a bit crazy about it, I do appreciate good entertainment, right?
I imagine Nyx might be a ban here. It's too
good.
It's too good not to ban, because firstly, Mortimer's Kiss, yes, it's not a perfect counter, but it is a counter. Secondly, when Magnus, he attacks people when his Empower on, you can cleave and hit the Nyx with the Spike Carapace, as they call it. So, OD is being banned instead.
Dire team
I didn't know it was pronounced Carapace.
No, it's
Carapace.
But
the Medusa, an early pick for the late game Medusa. Pretty confident on that one. They do have a lot of sustain coming out from the Wyvern to save him a little bit.
yeah, but
A bit overconfident, I feel.
a lot of times, yeah, it's very strange to pick the Medusa. I mean, like, when you look at Wyvern's his heal, it really never feels like a save. Firstly, you're stuck there for like
That's
5 seconds, and
And
secondly,
it doesn't save you from magical damage. With the
Or
kisses
pure-
around,
yeah.
yeah.
so imagine being healed and Mortimer's Kiss coming, you're like, well, I screwed up this time.
I'm
you know?
dead. You just set me up on the noose. We'll see what Adroit is going to respond in their third pick.
I wonder if they're
right
gonna
now.
if they take Clockwork, because if they take Clockwork, still a flex pick could be a 3 and 4. So you have a flex with a Clock, flex with the Magnus. So you know, there'll be a lot of mind games still coming out. And you force Army Genius to show your 4th hero before you have even committed your draft to anything.
Well, what about the mentality of being in the upper bracket? It's best of 3. Do you think teams are a bit more willing to try new things, knowing that there's always the lower bracket to be a safety net for them?
I think you're willing to, if you won game 1 and you're like on the second game, you have like the 1-0, and then you're okay with it.
All right, so it's a Centaur Warrunner. Definitely now this Magnus going to run on a 4th.
Or 2. No, it's Centaur's the confirmed 3. Centaur's the confirmed 3. Snapfire is probably the confirmed 5, which means that we still don't know. It's a 2.
Could be a mid-mag.
Yeah, they still want to make sure that they get a favorable mid matchup before they commit.
So the Medusa is most likely going to be on mid, right?
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
So what is the matchup between the Medusa and the Mag? Do you think it's any favorable to the Mag?
Both get to
5
farm
seconds
quite
remaining.
decently. Yes, the Mystic Snakes do damage, but they don't take mana anymore. So Magnus just goes into it, empowers, farms. You can't really deny against him because you get like, you know, double bonus damage on yourself. So it's a lot. And we're seeing Medusa. She'll do some harass, but it's just not enough to kill him.
Hey, you want to know what's the crazy part now? That was actually Adroit.
What?
That draft was Adroit. It was swapped around now, the names. So that was not the Adroit Magnus as we thought it would be. or the Snapfire, or the Santa Warrunner. So
Blink and you miss it.
yeah.
Well, it makes sense because we know that
Balkan is Anch, right?
they love Enchantress, yeah. So that's why I was like surprised that they took it. And Winter Wyvern, I mean, we have it in the notes here. Wyvern is picked for Adroit, but Army Geniuses, they are going for heroes that Adroit does like, which is the Magnus as well. So they want to take it. Magnus and Snapfire, great combo. And you also have the Centaur to help set it up.
Oh, look at the Medusa. It seems like they're going. Adroit's going for the 4 protect 1 right now. He's got the Cold Embrace to heal him
False
up,
Promise, yeah.
and False Promise to hold him there, even with the magic immunity.
Which
during
makes
the heals,
which makes me think that's going to be Medusa 1 because Natsumi loves those farming
Yeah.
heroes. He loves to stay in the lane just to farm by himself. So it feels like Medusa suits him way more than it suits Mac, who loves to move around. And PL coming out. All right. Okay, I can live with that. You can actually use Enchantress to take one of the PL illusions for your own, and that spawns illusions as well. So you can have this army of illusions fighting each other. It is fun in its own way. It's like
theoretically fun.
It's a lot of fun. But looking at Adroit, yeah, you don't have a lot of. You have Medusa who can help clear the illusions. You have Winter Wyvern with his Splinter Blast, her Splinter Blast, sorry, she's a lady, to help clear some illusions. But other than that, it's not that much. You know, it's like, yeah, you got some, but you got.
So the question now becomes, who has the tempo, at least in the early game? Because Medusa is going super late, and it seems that all they have on the side of Adroit are passive save heroes.
Yeah, it's I mean, Army Genius looks like they have way better tempo. Snapfire can, you know, with Mortimer's Kiss, you can set up fights. Magnus ulti, you have Centaur running around as well. On Adroit, you got Oracle, Winter Wyvern, Enchantress. These are your space makers, and none of them is particularly well known for making space. Enchantress, when we see Bach play him, he's very aggressive. He's able to make some plays, but the hero himself is somewhat limited to that. You know, he plays him more as a late game carry sort of hero.
So they're expecting the mid pick right now coming out from Adroit. Banned out the TA, banned out OD previously.
This leaves, by the way, and Huskar's pretty good. Percentage damage against two. Again, well, 3 of them are strength heroes. Snapfire is a strength hero, by the way, which is something we don't like think about very often.
Yeah, because he's pretty squishy. You never think of it.
But she is a strength hero, which means that you have 3 people, especially the Centaur and the Magnus, where Huskar does percentage damage, which is really good. Silencer coming out as a ban here.
They're expecting the mid.
Ember Spirit is gonna be the Huskar last pick. I feel like it's really set up for Adroit to take the Huskar, but there's a lot of control coming out. Huskar late game is not great, which we talked about. Medusa's very late game, so you will have a useless Huskar at that point.
But do you think it's fine because they're banking on Medusa getting super late, or maybe even get an early divine? And
we've seen that work.
Yeah,
like we've seen that work. But it's also like that strategy where you're playing Russian roulette and there's like 2 left and you're like, do you really want to bank on that? You know, do you really want to go that?
It's a best of 3, man.
So
it's a best of 3.
Ember Spirit, Magnus. We talked about Ember Spirit being quite contested recently. PL. This is really good. Like, this is what they have. It's going to be that position. I imagine position 4 Magnus and Centaur 3, Ember mid, PL just farming, and PL late game against Medusa. If you have the Mamba, you're fine, honestly.
Yeah, you're honestly fine because like the PL, it's like traditionally used to counter the Medusa, especially with the diffusal, right?
This is a good draft.
So
by Army Geniuses, it's
solid.
Pretty tanky. They have 3 heroes that are pretty elusive. Yeah, I mean even the Skewer, you got Skewer, you got Stampede, you got Remnants, and you even got Doppelganger.
So you've got ways to initiate.
You got ways to get
out of there. And we were talking about tempo. The Empower on PL is going to speed his one a little bit faster.
Of course.
So if we're already expecting PL to eat the Medusa up for the late game, imagine if he comes online way faster.
Another thing, of course, is that it's so good on the Ember Spirit as well because you just, you know, when you do the Cyphers, and actually Necro comes out.
More sustain, more to save the Medusa, I guess, with the heals.
More likely it's just because I mean, I'm not really sure why you'd have the Necro last pick. It is quite an interesting draft from Adroit. It's not something I expected at all. The Winter Wyvern Enchantress is like, okay, I can see that, but after that, it's crazy picks coming out from them. So, a Necro, it's probably going to be a Necro mid. It's going to be the safe lane. Medusa, it's going to be Enchantress off lane. How is this going to work? It seems like they really lack control. They have a lot of sustain, like you said, but that's just it. That's all they have.
They're banking on it, but it is Adroit we're talking about. Not being any bias or anything. We're just saying this is probably the new meta we said.
Yeah.
They haven't played a tourney for a long time. No one has figured this out. This is a total different Adroit than what we're used to. So we're about to find out this game 1. But before that, the harder question. Predictions. Who do you think is going to come out on top objectively, of course, just based on the draft. Personally, I think Army Geniuses has a more solid one.
It
Or at
has a
least,
draft.
yeah, it feels more traditional. It feels more stable.
It has so much team fight as well. Mortimer's Kiss, RP, just all this team fight. PL late game is amazing. But at the same time, I mean, Adroit has the resume. So, and
Yeah.
when you have to pick between a good draft or a good resume, I think all the time you go with a good resume. So I think Adroit, despite the draft being a bit weird, they'll surprise us, and I think they'll take the win.
That's true. So what I think the scenario is going to be now is the Army Geniuses is going to play the tempo.
Yeah.
They're going to rush an Adroit, but maybe the saves, they prioritize so much on the save that they get no objectives out of it, and they just waste a lot of the commitments right there. I guess we'll find out as the game has already begun. This is game number 1, the first series of the day. It is Team Adroit versus Army Geniuses, and it's Southeast Asian Dota.
We got pause here. We got wait a bit. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Can we look at Ray Dyer's side? I want to see who's playing on what actually. Like for example.
Who wants cookies? Well, too bad.
UK already offering cookies to his opponent.
That's their position 5.
Yep.
So I mean, it was good. Obviously, it was gonna be a snap 5, and Mamang Daya is gonna be mid, and Womi on the you can't see. Oh, yeah, there you go.
You're talking about the position 5 Snapfire, why it's so viable now as a pulse 5 as compared to a pulse 4. Could you just run it through it?
The reason that Snapfire is just agreed on to be the position 5, or at least there seems to be switching way more to the position 5 than position 4 role, is because generally she's just so good in the lane, so you don't want to really make her move around anywhere. Secondly, she farms super well, so whether she's a position 4 or position 5, you just go into force, you scatter blast, you get the same amount of gold anyway. And lastly, there's really no big item you rush after the mech. So as a position 5, you get the mech and you go Greaves and you're comfortable. You don't really need anything more than that. That's really, you Greaves, your Cookie, you use your Mortimer's Kiss, and that's your contribution in the team fights. So it's gonna be the position 4 on the Wyvern. Bach always makes space. He always makes plays, but on a Wyvern, it's like you're really.
He's a bit more passive. This is not the Bach I know. Adroit has changed like a whole 180 since the last time we've seen them play.
To be fair, though, a lot of the heroes that they like, Morph was banned, for example, Kunko was banned, and what was picked, they lost the Magnus, they lost the Snapfire. So there a lot of heroes they like were already taken out.
Natsumi going on to the farming heroes as per usual, already taking covers into the tree lines. Meanwhile, already 3 heroes from the side of Army Geniuses contesting the top rune, trying to get a slight advantage onto their end. Boomy also in the area, just diving deep. They know they have the tempo game, so they can play a bit more aggressive and zone them out and create the lead they want to, contesting the outpost at minute 0.
Wait, it's offlane. It's offlane Winter Wyvern.
Yeah.
Yeah, offlane Winter Wyvern. So what's he gonna build exactly?
You tell me, man. You're the more experimental one when it comes to the drop.
He's gonna go for Orchid. I mean, like, is he actually gonna go Mask of Madness and do a ton of damage? That would be cool. But
I'd love to see it, man. Not gonna deny.
But it's definitely gonna be the Orchid. So this is new actually. Position 3 Winter Wyvern. At least none of the tournaments I've been watching have them. So bottom lane, Boomy will have some harass here coming out on the PL. PL's trying to block, but he's like taking all these hits. Here comes another impetus. There you go.
There you go. Dodges it with the doppelganger. Sends his illusion down. No damage on the harass back though, but does give up with the chase. UK is hiding in the tree lines. Already a tri lane up top. Natsumi is on his own. How do you like the Medusa being left alone without a babysitter?
Actually, Oracle he's a little bit behind, but he's around. You know, this is where you want to be in the Oracle. You can't see him, but you know his presence is there. You know.
Cookies forward, gets the stun off, but there is no follow-up right there. This is the position 4 Magnus, as we already predicted. Gets the root down, skewers forward just to block the camp. Great play.
Yeah, that was a nice one. And all he wants to do is keep the Oracle as far away from the lane as possible, and they deny all the creeps that they can. That way, that Medusa's just getting nothing out of the lane. But meanwhile, Mac is doing all right. He's 7-1 to the 2-1 by the Ember Spirit. So doing really well for himself.
Who do you see come up in the mid lane matchup?
I mean, it seems it'll be really hard to kill for the Ember Spirit to kill the Necrophos because of all that regen you get all the time. Look at that damage coming out.
Splinter Blast as well to add it off. To break open the wounds that's already been caused with the right click, and now going into the tree lines. He will make it out. Just a harass there, but Natsumi's not having a bad time, honestly. Skewers backwards though. This could give him a of harassed Dan, and he has to back out. He is going low on mana right now. The mana shield getting burned through, falling pretty low, but he will get out on time. CML with the body blocks will get his carry out alive.
The thing is, Army Genius's plan is very simple right now. They're like, okay, we will shut down Medusa. I mean, they're throwing 3 heroes at it. But they are losing the mid lane, kind of, like not that much. But Mac is fine. He's having fun. The mid lane, he's doing fantastic. Low HP aside right now. And Bach is also really doing well in the bottom lane.
Stargazer though, he is falling pretty low. Needs one more impetus. Will get the kill. Boomy takes down first blood onto Stargazer.
Alright, this is a little awkward for RBGs. They were really hoping to do that trial lane top and shut down Medusa, and then they were like, oh yeah, PL can live, you know, top bottom lane by himself, but he can't. He can't take all the harasses coming out. Pure damage from the impetus, a lot of magic damage from the Winter Wyvern. It's too much for him to handle. So now that the lanes have switched up, it'll actually start going more in Adroit's favor because they're getting the drafts the lanes they wanted.
It's exactly what you said. Boomy making the space he needed to, together with Bach in the same lane. Gets the pull out, gives more advantage to the side of Adroit as the creep wave pushes closer into his tower. Spots Lawless Shy down in the bottom lane. The rotation has been made. So, do you think this rotation should have been made way earlier?
I mean, the thing is, if they did make this rotation, they would have felt
Hold that
bad.
thought, because engagement up at top already burnt through the mana shield. Scatter already committed. No other ways to take him down.
Again, they're winning 2 other lanes. If you look at mid, it's 20-3 to the 30-1. Like, Mac is running away with the mid lane. He's very happy with what's happening. Bottom lane, they got first blood there, so they're very happy as well. It's, yes, Natsumi will suffer, but once the other lanes are online, he'll be fine. He'll be like, yeah, you guys fight. Now I will get, you know, I'll get the benefits of all that space you guys had.
In an early contest by Lawless Shy. Always the nice thing to do. You just prevent their rotations going downwards. In fact, Boomy's already in the area. Has a ward placed down real deep though, so he does spot it out. Contested back. He's just playing super annoying, forcing rotation out of lane. CML falling low, but he lost the vision. UK now getting rooted up. No mana, but they have no catch as well. Natsumi will just waste his own time trying to go for the commitment. Has to crawl his way back to the lane.
It feels horrible though to only have 5 CS at this point of the game though. Like, I feel bad for the guy, but this is what they agreed on.
Now Boomy, Lawless Shy, just a 1v1 and a pause 4
Oh, this
right
might be
here.
a kill,
It seems
actually.
that Boomy is actually coming out alive, but he forgets. He's got the slow to control, and in fact, he's got impetus to play around with. The
There
boulder
He's gonna split them, I
gets the
think.
stun. Tries to cut him off. Will he though? Will he get the vision
Dire's
upon
middle
him?
tower
He's trying to
is
go
under
into the tree lines. Jukes him off with the vision.
Dire's
Has to
courier
be
has been
on the
killed.
run. Gives up the chase. Boomy decided, nah, it's not worth the time.
Oh, they did get the courier though, so that's 150 gold in total. That's nice, you know. And interesting, he's going for the
Radiant's middle tower is under
Necronomicon on Enchanters. It's such an interesting item to see them go for it, and it's something he's gonna sell later, by the way.
More tempo. Breaks down towers faster, more space for the Medusa, which could really use some space right now. Natsumi in the top lane, not doing so hot himself. CML waiting in the area. Oh, but the cookie stun is there.
Gonna be
He's
a
got
kill.
a lot of mana. Will go down to the Centaur. Wow, mine. Just wowing us with his plays, although it was an easy kill though. Bottom lane, Stargazer again, and in a lot of trouble, gets slowed down. He's got the Golem and the Cedar Blast. Not enough to take him down, but enough to shy him away from the entire creep wave. So a lot of efficiency lost there. Has no mana to play around with.
It's very interesting how they're going to play this on Adroit. They're actually, since they're rushing Necronomicon Enchanters, that means they really want to push these towers fast, get kills, get towers, and that's, instead of just looking for like running around the map, making space, they want to take objectives as well. So, and if you look at their lineup, they don't really have a ton of tower damage, you know. Yeah, they have heroes who hit, but it's not much. And Mac is level 6. He doesn't actually skill. By the way, he has 2 skill points in his pocket. One is for the Death Shroud if he needs it.
Yeah.
One for the ulti if he needs it. So he's just keeping them just in case. Doesn't want to commit them to anything.
Take a look at the last hits though. He's doing very well with 39 and 11. Yeah, to the Embers 26-2.
Mamang Daya is having a terrible lane, and he's level 6 though. If he can salvage this by running on.
Oh, the lead is going to be greater now that Boomy has the double damage with the Reaper. Scythe will secure the kills and put some timer on his death. In fact, 40 seconds at this early of the game.
Yeah, that's a lot. And that's the problem is, that's your tempo here. Oh,
Oh, he stuns there. He's on his own. In fact, you just made the wrong commitment. Boomy's still in the area with the DD. Will slow him
he's
down.
dead.
Trying to get the right click down. The hard stop aura with the death pulse will take him into the grave. Lawless Shy takes one harass. Pops the stick.
That's 2 kills for Mac in the mid lane. Like we talked about how it's like it's very unorthodox what they picked, but the way they're playing is perfect. It's still weird to see the off-laner Wyvern. That's still weird, but he's gonna make it work. He's actually gonna go for the Meteor Hammer, and you have enough time to set it up with your ultimate.
Oh, he's going for a pure flash right now. It's all for the entertainment value. This guy, Bach, he knows he's the playmaker, and he's willing to show it all off.
Yeah, Adroit styling to I mean, like if you can win with an off-lane Wyvern, that's just cool right there.
Yeah, that's wow. I don't know how to take it if you're on the side of Army Geniuses.
Oh, well,
you lost to that though.
middle tower is under attack.
And it looks like Necrophos is just gonna go for a lot of like tanky items, power treads into the hood. So it's going to be really hard just to bring him down. And if you look at Army Geniuses, they have a lot of spread damage, but they don't have like this huge concentrated like Finger of Death, Laguna Blade damage, where it's like 1%, but it's a ton. You have, Mortimer's Kiss does a lot of damage, but Ember Spirit is a lot of spread damage. Same thing with the Centaur, same thing with the Magnus. Magnus actually doesn't do much damage. He's a support.
I like that you pointed that one out because Adroit has got 2 very tanky cores, and without that burst, they seem to be in the back end. Bach being committed on, already commits the Doppelganger, the Stargaze into the tree lines, but he juked it! Bach just goes back to the tower and he's fine. He's just gonna get out of there. What a player, just making so much space. And now Stargazer gets spot out. Boomy is in the area. He's so willing to let it go because does he have untouchable just yet? Seems like it. Immediately Phantom rushes forward, but he's being locked down with the ult. Holds him in place. The rotation's coming in. Mac is in the area.
Has the ulti
forward. Will be out of range. They're going for the illusion. Well played. Well played by this PL, the micro.
Some weird things like Bach threw a Splinter Blast on like a hero by himself, which does nothing. Secondly, the Impetus was thrown on someone who's Winter Cursed, a little bit strange as well. But overall, they survived. Yes, they used the ultis.
Ooh. Oof, misses the hoof stomp.
Now, what can Centaur do? Because I think Army Geniuses, you're looking at your team and you're like, all right, Ember, Spirit, and Centaur, it's time for you guys to do some stuff. You have to do more around the map. And Mama Dai actually had a decent time in the mid lane by himself as Ember Spirit. Actually, so no, he's been jungling this time around. So he's recovered a little bit, and but he has to be online, not just recovering.
Natsumi taking out mid. Really needed the level, some sort of farm going his way as well. He is pretty low in the net worth with Bach overtaking him. I think, no, the last hit. There you go.
And looks like it was a a Reaper kill as well, so that's an extra added time. And by the way, they got, for Adroit, they got the best neutral item. They could get Royal Jelly, tier 1, just fantastic item to have. And really good on both the Necro as well as the Medusa.
Makes them even harder to kill. Lawless Shy together with his carry, just cleaning up their jungle right now. He spots out the stacks.
That's a good stack. Yeah, it's good that you can take this, There is also a haste rune on the Ember, so I wouldn't be so... Oh, they got the Royal Jelly as well, so there you go.
There you go.
One for the Ember, probably one for, I don't know, PL, probably.
Just feed it to him, man. Feed it to him. Bach is farming up top, but he is a Winter Wyvern. Probably his impact is not going to be felt, at least for the early stages of the game. But bottom lane, the tempo has been cranked up. Mac pushes already into the tier 2. Oh, spots out the courier. One hit, right click. There we go. Gets the courier. 2 minutes down in his item progression. Has to walk for it. Feels bad to be Stargazer at this moment. Cookies forward, gets the stun, but top lane already committed the Winter's Curse. Holds him in place. Bach can't get out just in time, but here comes the Stampede. They're going forward. Remnant forward as well, but no chains to hold him in place. He just flies on top where they cannot get him.
They ping the mango tree, so they're probably going to go cut it when they can. There you go. So that's nice. You get the mango tree, but enemy make Winter Wyvern use his ultimate. But again, Ember wants to go around getting kills, and then when they're using this ultimate, it's like, oh, you're really stopping my tempo. And Mac has another ultimate ready. 2 Reaper kills so far. It's really adding on the timer.
It's like I said, man. They're just gonna go full force onto Adroit, but Adroit have got all the means in the world to sustain themselves. In fact, they didn't even need it to sustain himself. He was just walking away.
Yeah, they just flew away. There's no vision.
Yeah.
So, if you're army geniuses, it's like RP is not even available right now. So you want to get the RP on the Magnus. You want to go in for someone you can actually kill. It feels like I don't know how they're really gonna kill Necro. You know, it's like Necro seems like there's just really no way they have of killing him. So you have to kill everyone else. Maybe save the Necro for last. Wait for the diffusal blade on the PL. Then you have a chance. So it's a tough game right now for Army Geniuses unless they can make a move with Ember. And yeah, Magnus only level 5.
Stargazer now just farming up into the triangle, trying to get some decent farm on his end. He is not the best in net worth. In fact, the Medusa has already overtaken him from being down below. As I say that, it's like back and forth at this point.
Yeah, it's very close. It's Winter Wyvern. I'm guessing they really value just the Winter's Curse on the Wyvern. And top lane.
Top lane already being
Winter's Curse
on.
available.
He's got a lot of control down here in his corner. Actually, Boomy is in the area. The Winter's Curse will be committed. Holds him in place. Will they have a follow-up for it? Impetus is trying to make some damage out, but he's out of mana. Pops the Mango, gets the Hoof Stomp in the backline. But the forward though, this Amber went straight for Bob. This False Promise holds him in place. Keeps him alive, but is the heal enough or will he pop and finally go down? Yeah, he'll be alive. He's walking out just fine. Again, they do get one Boomy, but like that's a heavy commitment. And if you're Army Geniuses, you're expecting to play the tempo.
Yeah, but at least you get a kill. You know, you're like stemming the bleeding just slightly. That was a kind of weird play by Bach. He had no creeps nearby for the Splinter Blast to bounce off. So he's like, oh, well, I can't really do half my damage right now. So it was very ambitious to go for that kill. There's a nice smoke here. They have RP. They have the Stampede.
Oh, they're gonna meet the Medusa.
That's
He's farming right here. Natsumi gets caught out. The RP committed. The Cookie as well to stun him in place, but the damage is enough. We'll take down this Medusa. Easy peasy. Putting him back in the net worth below their PL.
Very cool combo they're doing with the Cookie into the Skewer. You know, someone's skewering in, then when they reach them, they're just straight away stunning them as well besides the slow. It's cute. You know, so far it has actually worked that well when we see it, but it's cool that they're trying out something new like that. Still, we haven't seen Mac fight in a while. Mac is, you know, he's 7.6k, nearest is 6k flat, and he's on a Necrophos who can make some work happen.
What do you think you want to see on Necrophos before he makes any movements around the map, securing the kills?
I'm actually curious what he's going to build. Like, there's a pipe
down in mid. He's got a Rod of Atos, holds him in place. He has a Reaper Scythe if he so wishes to. Will not. Searing Chains will hold him back. Does not want to commit it.
I was gonna say he might go for Radiance. He has Radiance Q though. I'm not sure if that's the thing. I don't play a lot of Radiance. I don't play a lot of Necrophos, but the Rod of Atos makes sense. You want to be able to lock down the Ember as well as the PL. If you look at Adroit, they are lacking lockdown. It's like Winter's Curse, Reaper's Scythe, the Fortune's End. That's kind of it. And whatever creep that Enchanters had that has a stun like a Golem. So they do need more control. And Rod of Atos is a fantastic pick. They're into the Radiance, I'm not sure, but if he goes for it, I can see it. It makes sense. PL's illusions, though, they do scale to the point where they start kind of being able to a little bit ignore the Radiance Sperm. But early game, fantastic.
Well, talking about the early game, they're going straight in. Winter's Curse and a Rod of Atos stack. But here comes the Meteor Hammer. Holds him in place. Reaper Scythe committed. Will go down.
Out for 53 seconds. Damn. But it's fine. I mean, the guy didn't even have RP, so him being dead, it's not like he's around making space happen. So it's not fine.
Plus, he was a post 4, right?
Yeah, he's a post 4.
That was a heavy commitment on a post 4.
It seems like he's playing more as a post 5, to be honest. Like, Snapeye is already level 8, so she's ahead of him in the net worth. I'm not sure if he's having a bad game, but I know UK is usually the position 5, so they're like, all right, you know what? Just do your best. Oh,
Mortimer's Kisses onto Boomy.
On
he
the
knows
edge.
Untouchable isn't impervious to magical damage. The False Promise is dead. I'll heal him up, but he's fine. He's going to turn this one around. In fact, holds him in place with the Fortunes and does not want to commit. They know this guy is a tanky one. Will stay back a little bit. Searing Chains right there. Slide of Fist.
See, this is the problem with having no like big burst damage. Because you don't have Laguna Blade or something like that, you will almost always get False Promised. You know, when you have like this big burst, Oracle can be there and he'll be like, oh, this is not going to then boom, big damage. But here there's no big hit that's going to come. Even Mortimer's Kiss, it does a good amount of damage, but it's like every 2 seconds you get hit by one. So it's kind of an easy Oracle game to play in terms of how to save people. Yeah, they have catch, but you can almost all save someone.
Straight for Bob. Commits his Winter's Curse real early.
Oh,
Do they have a follow-up though? Oh no, he's just trying to save his life. In fact, Natsumi makes the rotation in, spots out the DD on him, glowing so brightly, he has to get out of there. Especially if his friends are around.
There you go.
Wait. It says Stargazer got the ward when it's like he was enchanted. Oh, that was so. Did he deny it?
He used his illusion, the micro.
That's weird. Oh, there
Oh,
we
they're
go.
going straight in, but he pops the Stone Gaze. They're not going to commit on that one, but they're going to wait the duration out. In fact, Stampede commit, they're charging forward under the tier 2. Do they really want
they're
to
really
skew it
going.
forward? RP connects onto 2. Mystic Snake was there, and now the damage is enough. With all his allies in the area, they cannot get the kill, and that was, what was that actually?
That was a miscommunication.
Boomy now getting Clawwiller down by this PL illusion. He's moving forward, does decent damage, despite the hero not being actually there.
This is kind of cool that you get your own PL army making mana burning as well. But yeah, that was just a miscommunication. You can see like the Magnus, he's like, yo, we're going in. Yeah, I'm skewing. They step in. At that point, you're like, oh, we have to get something out of this. You know, we used so much. And we forced out the Medusa Stone Gaze. So they used a lot, but it wasn't the right play, and it cost him his life. And another career kill. There's quite a few this game. 250 health talent taken by the Snapfire. It is the sort of quote-unquote better talent. It just means that you're just not going to be killed very easily. And Snapfire, she is quite, when she's more says, she does stay a lot on the front line.
And she is alone, trying to go for the TP, but they do not have any sort of lockdown to hold them in place. So I guess that's the downside of having not much lockdown on your team.
Yeah, the downside of two of your two ultimates are your stuns. You know, like, oh yeah, what do we want to use? The Reaper's Scythe or the Winter's Curse to cancel TPs?
Let's take a look at the net worth of the heroes right now. Medusa slowly climbing away on the 3rd place with Mac finally on top. He's always been on top, honestly. He had a great lane in the middle. His Ember could not have the farm of his life, falling below his own offlaner, so that's gotta feel bad.
Stargazer's also doing really well. He's queued up a Shadow Blade.
Oh.
I'm gonna guess he wants to make it the Silver Edge so that he could.
Oh, Winter's Curse holds him in place underneath tier 2. Here comes the Meteor Hammer. It does come in. Mac is in the area trying to do the damage. We'll get the Reaper Scythe. It takes 4 to kill 1, but it's totally worth it when he's gone for 70 seconds.
And 2 ultimates as well. Yeah, I mean, it's very worth it, but it's like, it shows you that how hard it is to kill the Centaur right now. He does have a pipe. But again, Natsumi, this is Adroit's game right now. This is really what they wanted to happen. They weathered the early game that looked like it was going to be dangerous from Army Geniuses, and now they're just farming fine.
Doing pretty well, and Medusa already on top at 10k along with his mid laner. Now this PL is the one's falling down behind, and that's the power of Medusa. She can always farm in the jungle if she had a bad lane, and you can see Natsumi pulling his weight real good.
Yeah, and remember, they just spent so much to shut him down. Interesting item coming out from the Brew Spirit. Going to rush the BKB. Kind of worried that he'll just need it very early in this game.
This PL has a diffusal blade now too.
Yeah.
So, do you think he should start getting involved in the fights, or does he need to just stay out of it and farm more?
I mean, you want to get the Manta style, you know, just so you can dispel. Like you can, if the Fortune's End's coming your way and you already use Doppel, you don't have any other options. It's just having more options is always good. So I imagine they'll play it safe until they have the Manta style for the PL. Because he's looking at 10 minutes, he'll be all they have after that. Because Ember he's not doing what he needs to do this game. Oh, nice.
Cancel the TP. Do they want to commit onto him though? Mac is a big kill. He's got a mega kill streak under his name, but the save is there. Out comes the Mortimer's Kisses, but with the magic immunity coming up from this Oracle, he's going to be just fine. In fact, Natsumi's still in the area. They thought they got him good, but it was the other way around.
And they have Radiance on Necrophos already. I believe the recipe's flying to him right now.
Oh, he's on his own. Immediately commits with the RP after the skewers, just beating him down. But they do have the mana burn from the diffusal. Natsumi in trouble. His friends are not in the area. Spirit lands forward. And with the Phantom Rush, there's just no way of running away. Gets the cookie stun onto Mac. Mac again, big kill with a streak under his name. Searing Chains holds 2 in place. Out comes the Reaper Scythe. He turns this one around and now holds him in place with the Winter's Curse. Snapfire is just hitting on his own carry. Out comes the Meteor. 2, 3 will go down in that engagement alone.
almost worth it for Army Genius, even if they had to trade 2 for 3 like that. I mean, they get a tier 3 tower, they kill. Oh, there, let's go. You cannot underestimate the PL. You know, Stargazer, he's got extra attack speed thanks to the Shadow Blade, he's got Diffusal. Look at that, all edgy on everything. He's got edgy boots, he's got power, the Wraith Bands. You gotta be careful, you know.
They've already breached into the racks down in the bottom lane. Adroit, they may have always climb up on top when it comes to the team fight, but this PL, he's just playing his own game.
Yeah, it's PL against the world, but PL is doing a good job. You know, it's like he knows what he has to do. He's able to do it. That RP, I was like, it's quite ambitious. Oh, PL.
Talking about PL though, the Heartstop Aura is gonna get him, even if the Death Pulse won't. UK is trying to slow him down with the scat there. Throws a cookie, will get out alive. But that was a big waste. We just complimented the guy. The curse is real, man.
I know. I'm just saying he's playing really well. It's not my curse. By the way, when you look at Boom is doing a great job of farming. Look at the Enchanters, way ahead of the Snapfire, way ahead of the Magnus. Yeah, and even Oracle's farming decent. I mean, yeah, his last net worth, but it's fine.
Going straight for a big objective right now. Natsumi and the buff of the DD runes will go straight for the Roche. Do they even know he's there? Not too sure. They might have pinged it out.
They have the Magnus.
They're going to try and check for it. Sleight of Fist discovers them.
Stampede is... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Stampede is available, but no RP, meaning that they... With contested kiss is a bit rough. Oh, there you go.
Oh, he gets rooted up, and now they're all leaving the pit, going straight for it, but the Mortimer's Kisses controlled him there. Mac now turning his attention to UK. UK trying to get out alive, but the Death Pulse is following him. The Roshan Aegis has been taken up by Natsumi, and they get the kill onto this Magnus and Snapfire.
Magnus wanted to skewer in, so maybe, I don't know if he had RP available at the time, I don't think he did, but he wanted to skewer in, push them away, and then he'll be the closest one to Roshan when the Aegis falls. That didn't happen, end up losing his life. It's still worthwhile play. Like, even if you do something like this and you die, it's worth it, because if you can just deny the Aegis, it's such a big win. Oh, there you go.
Boomy has been getting a good game, but I don't think he's going to get out of this one. Spirit lands forward, the disarm is there to save him from any magical. Oh, in fact, he does not want to commit. Has to back out. Scouts out 4 in the area, runs the opposite direction, throws out a Spirit Lance.
By the way, I like our observer, he's pointing out that there is a Vanguard on Boomy. Like, imagine being able to take that out, taking him out of the fight.
He's tanky. He's tanky, especially with the untouchable.
Look, Winter Wyvern's also... It has a chim on, I wasn't sure what he... So, Centaur Warner has the Blink Dagger. I feel like I'd prefer if he had something else like an Aghanims actually, but because you're gonna rely on the PL. If you have Aghanims on the Centaur, you can activate 40% less damage, save someone from the Reaper side. Even though it seems like Reaper side used when the person has like 10% HP anyway, so still, it's an idea that they might consider. Magnus, what's he going for? Vlad's. It's not a good Magnus game. He's just not having the game he wants.
I guess some decent lifesteal onto the PL just to keep him sustained for a bit, but they do have a lot of bursts coming from Adroit. I mean, it's decent. They have a lot of control. Though.
Yeah, I mean with the ATOS. And the ATOS and the Meteor Hammer, that adds 2 extra stuns that you didn't have before. It's pretty decent. Ember Spirit does have the BKB. I mean, I'm trying to wonder. Well, you can still be like Winter Cursed even if you're BKB'd. You can still be Reaper's Sight, so both these can stop your TPs, which is annoying. I don't know. I don't feel very good about this BKB on Ember. I would prefer he gets something more that makes it more elusive. Even something like maybe a Yules or something like that. But look at that, Mac.
Going straight for Mac, he's just gonna burn down his mana first before actually going into for the commit, but he pops Ghost Shroud, heals it back up. Not much damage done there, but they do get the info. Mac is in the area. In fact, this Centaur is in the area as well, just waiting in the tree lines.
Crimson Guard on Enchanters, meaning that all the illusions, once they yes, they do mana burn still, but a lot of their damage just reduced now.
Takes away the physical prowess coming out from Army Geniuses. Rushing down in the mid lane. They have heroes waiting on top. They do have vision, but only on the top lane, so nothing's covering the triangle right now.
Titan Sliver, that's a pretty good item to have on the Radiant if you're Radiant. Do they have a repair kit on the Radiant side? That's the thing I want to know, because they might be needing to use it soon. Butterfly on the Medusa. No one really wants to make a MKB on the Radiant side, but you might have to, because otherwise you just... Oh, there you go, there's a repair kit.
Yeah. but they're all already knocking onto your tier 3s at 26 minutes in. This Natsumi, he just redeemed himself, already second in the net worth chart, holding his position, in fact doing so much damage just with the right click. Split arrow is just being annoying, cleans up your creeps while he takes your base at it. Mortimer's Kiss is committed just to zone him out, but apparently it's doing absolutely nothing. They take one, they're about to take the other before they just shift into a second objective. Most likely they know everyone's healthy and up.
That was a weird Mortimer's Kiss. He focused mostly on the siege creep, which takes like 80% reduced magic damage. I'm like, that is an odd choice from UK.
Oh, the coup is under the covers right now. Stargazer maybe looking to commit down in, but he has a stone gaze, so they gotta respect that a little bit. Stuns immediately come out with the Reaper Scythe as well, but no one got any objective in that engagement. Has the BKB still holding in place, but he's the one falling down low to the Natsumi's right click. Mac just zoning him out. He knows he's a tanky one. That guy's chunky. Oh, the skew is back in. He's out of mana. Pops the Ghost Shroud. Will they get anything to pull him off? The stun is there with the cookie. I hear a Winter's Curse, but they're focusing on his PL. He's the bigger kill. Immediately Stone Gaze to follow up with Meteor Hammer. Smashes down onto his head. He's under cover of Invis. They do not have the attack, the reveal, so he will get out just in time. But that's a lot of structural damage already done. Mystic snakes forward. Skew is to pull him in, but the Road of Atos holds him in place. They're going down for the racks. They see it. I don't know what Army Geniuses could do to contest it, especially with all the cooldowns now on their big key spells, and Adroit just playing around the timing, gets the break on, has the Manta, will split, but here comes the RP, holds him in place, but there comes a Meteor to stun everyone in the vicinity, will go low, and this is gonna come in with the cleanup. Natsumi right-clicking down with the split arrow. They're going next for this Ember. This Ember tries to dodge it with the Sleight of Fist, will go down. Someone comes out, Stargazer, trying to be the one man against the world as he was playing all along, but unfortunately this is a team fight. Gets the Cold Embrace to hold him in place, but that's about it. He is out of mana. He's going for the easier kill. Box, the one who will go down. He's not the flashiest of hero in this game, but, well, he did his part. In fact, they're not done just yet.
That fight costing them 2 buybacks, 2 sets of racks, and all they got out of that was a kill on Bach. I mean, it's really hard. It's just looking like it's going to be impossible for Army Geniuses. They had the blink RP, but he blinked just as the Meteor, so Meteor Hammer fell. So he wasn't able to like skewer them back or anything. They used a lot of their repair kits. It took them a while to get the bomb racks because there was actually no creeps around to help them push. So they had the backdoor protection. But it's really rough. Army Genius, they need a miracle to win at this point because they do not have the damage to bring down Medusa or the Necrophos unless PL gets on them, takes away their mana. And you still have a lot of save coming out from your friends.
Wait, hold that thought. Let us click on the Medusa and his item progression. I see something that's being queued up right now.
It's a Divine Rave.
Oh no, it's happening, man. 30 minutes in, he knows he is unkillable at this point with all the sustains in the world. I did not see a moment where his HP fell less than half. That never happened.
Now it's like it just. Well, there we go. They're going to try to get the kill on the Snapfire as well.
Holds him in place, but he has the Glimmer. Just get out just in time. In fact, Boomy in the area. The Meteor Hammer does not connect. But who is the Reaper Scythe committed on? We missed that one, but it gets UK in the back lines. 100 seconds.
That's because he bought back as well. So it's like buyback plus the extra time from the Reaper.
Well, too bad.
So the problem, by the way, Mac was a little overconfident earlier. He used it on someone who had the Glimmer Cape on and barely did any damage. Like, yeah, you do a lot of damage back, but you don't do that. But you don't do like Glimmer breaking damage.
They discounted him before it even began.
Like, that's not happening.
Oh, that's gotta feels bad, man. If this was any pubs right now, a question mark's gonna be spammed somewhere.
No. But this might actually be a kill.
Immediately goes on to Bach. He's the only hero they could potentially kill, and this one's taking a whole lot of time. All he did was burn the mana, but he's actually finally ticking in. But Natsumi's in the area. Surprise! You're in this triangle relationship now. Stargazer backs out. He was like, I didn't sign up for this tricycle, man.
They keep trying. I mean, oh, there you go,
Mac, real deep down forward. Has no teammates in the area. Yep, RP. Does not want to commit it. I don't think they could kill him anyways, especially with the Oracle in the area, ready to false promise him up.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Well, they got a courier. That's
Radiant's
something.
top tower is
You know?
under attack.
But how are they gonna? Yeah, again, they have all their ultis available. No Snapfire though. This is it. This is the Hail Mary. You have to be able to do something incredible right now. It has to be a Magnus RP into like a 5-man Centaur stun with Mortimer's Kiss raining the whole time. And, well, it's Mega Creep, so...
Mega Creeps, the only hero that can come back from Mega Creeps is not many. In fact, Natsumi should be that hero, but he's the one pushing in. Stone Gaze gets a kill, and immediately they just call GG. It is over in this game number 1. First match series of the day of the ESLC Championship 2020. Adroit versus Team Army Geniuses. And congratulations, Adroit. You were right. Otomo, you were right. Never doubt resumes.
I mean, they just come in with so much that they've done, and when they have a weird draft, yeah, we might question. I'm sure a lot of players would say like, that's a weird draft. But when you see it play, it's like there's a lot of genius there.
Yeah.
When you look at the Radiant draft, a lot of spread damage, not a lot of focus damage. So you take people who are very survivable. You got Medusa, you got Necrophos, and you got Oracle keeping them both alive just in case something happens. And you saw that he got a couple of saves, but he didn't really need to. Mac crushed mid lane against Mawang Daya. Ember can't rotate. And I mean, the Winter Wyvern pick, let's be fair, I still think it's a little bit of a question mark. It's like, I don't know.
What if that was just to throw people off, right? Like,
right, yeah.
Because we've been saying, yo, keep your eyes on Bach, keep your eyes on Bach. And he just comes out with the most passive of heroes and go like, yo, focus on me.
But he did a great combo. We saw the Winter's Curse into the Meteor Hammer every fight. And when he Winter's Curse like 2 or 3 people, he's able to turn this around. And, well, this is the summary of the game. So Adroit with the big W coming out. They still have game 2, so Army Geniuses could make a comeback, but it's very such a dominant performance.
Yeah, this is a best out of 3. As you can see, what they have raked in the past 30 minutes. This game is a 30-minute game, actually. Half an hour, and his Medusa felt like we went into 60 minutes of the game.
with a farm.
She was unkillable at that point. But I guess that's always been Natsumi, right? Like, he always has a bad start. Like, that always happens, but he always catches up in farm for some weird reason.
Yeah, he's always gonna take something that farms heavy. He's not gonna take like a monkey can roam around.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he'll do the game 2 and prove us wrong, but he's usually like Morphling. Now we see Medusa, something that farms heavy. EPL as well as one of these heroes. And just stay in the lane, farm, let the other guys make the moves, and I'll join in when I'm ready.
And that's all they have to do. In fact, Adroit, although different draft styles, similar play style, I guess this is the Adroit we know and love and respect. Army Geniuses, not discounted just yet, still best out of 3. Anything can happen. We thought they had a solid draft, but maybe the execution wasn't on point, right? So let's just check the feature player of that game number 1. It goes to Mac.
There you go. I mean, when you have, look at it. This is the best mid lane you can have. 9 kills, 0 deaths.
Yeah.
You know, crushed the mid lane. Didn't ask for help. He was like by himself. He's just like, yeah, I'm fine. And he got the Radiance to help deal with the PL illusions. It just, what a performance. I love the Atos pick just to get more control, because they did like it. You know, when you look at the draft, they're like, yeah, you guys, you have use 2 stuns that come from your both your ultimates. So let's get something else going on here. And that's what they did. Atos along with the Meteor Hammer. Just perfect performance, really. I mean, they all played well, but he's outstanding.
I mean, when you're self-sustainable as a carry, that's all you gotta be, man. 9-0 and 9. It's hard not to give to the guy. Well, I'll give Bach as the best distraction now.
All right, sure, we can give him that.
Everyone's just committing on Bach because it's probably the only hero they could kill at that point.
That was cool. That was cool that they tried. So they did decent Army Geniuses. Just they were outdrafted. So after that, they just couldn't really recover in any way. Embers just couldn't do anything in the mid lane, couldn't make space. It all snowballed from there.
So Army Geniuses, despite we thought they had a better draft, it feels more solid, feels more stable, feels more traditional. What do you think went wrong when it comes to the execution?
I mean, the first thing they did was that they went the tri-lane top, so they tried to really shut down Natsumi, and they did. But at the same time, they had first blood against them in the bottom lane on their carry, so that's a really bad situation. And of course, mid Ember he didn't rotate. He had to spend time in the jungle recovering. It's a lot of like compounding factors that you have to sort of look back and go, it's really not one thing. It's just a bunch of things that went wrong.
All right, so that was game number 1 of a best of 3 series, which means Army Geniuses still has a way to bounce back into game 2 and maybe even a game out, get into a third. But that all depends in the next one, right? My name is Scary Keith, and together with me it's Otomo, the one and only. We'll get back to game 2 in just about a bit for this ESLC Championship 2020.